Alright, we're back. For some reason, my internet on my computer just literally shit the fucking bed. But we're back. That was weird. I don't know why it just did that, but it did. So we're here now. Yeah, my internet just shit the bed on my computer. We back. We are back. Be our guests. Be our guests for our service to the test. Alright, we're back. Yay. Yippee! Alright. Let's continue after the Sayori butt touch. Confidently execute, MC. I have to give you credit. I was hoping for more shyness and blushing, but I appreciate the smooth approach also. Thanks. I was a lot more nervous than I tend to give off. So, last one for you. Oh my god, wait. What if he makes her touch Yuri's butt or Monica's? Let's finish on with a dare. She had good ideas. I only had to email one for dares going into this. Let me see. Got an idea. MC gets a piece of paper and starts writing something on it. He hands it to Natsuki. You have to read what is written on that piece of paper aloud and enthusiastically, without any sarcasm. Natsuki reads the paper. What is she gonna? Oh my god! I'm gonna guess. It's gonna say, "Manga isn't literature." It's gonna say that. I expect a wholehearted performance. Okay, I will also give it a wholehearted performance. Okay. Hi everyone, it's Kawaii Girl Natsuki here, and aren't I just super duper cute? I may be kind of gruff at first, but don't worry, I'm sweet and lovable underneath. And have I mentioned that I'm ultra cute? But don't think that's just because I've been talking to you means that I like you or anything, baka? There, done! Sayori, Malika, and Yuri have all stood up and are applauding and cheering. You horrible bastard. Now, truth or dare. I'm kind of scared of how you escalate that from the butt patting if I let you do dare on me, so truth. Oh, you think I can't be cruel with truth also? Tell me, MC. Have you and Sayori done it yet? That's fake. Done what? Oh, now it's MC who's trying to use definitions to hide. Yeah, that question's clear enough, MC. You should answer it as... Wait, what? She wants him to Oh, I might be attracted to Natsuki. I've been attracted to Natsuki. Yeah, the question's clear enough, MC, and you should answer it as is. I command it. Then no, we have not. Damn, but you have done something. I should have asked what base you guys were at. Instead, I got greedy and went straight for the home run. If only I have one more question. Well, everyone, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for playing Truth or Dare. Bye! Wait, hold on. What if... No, bye! Oh, damn, okay. Alright, so let's go and visit Monica. She at the mall. Surprised. Hey there, Ryan. I was just walking around to get some exercise. And instinctively doing some window shopping, since the mall here is one of the best places to walk around vigorously without getting sunburned. I actually don't like walking much as a form of exercise. It's kind of boring. Same with treadmills and stationary bikes. Really not a fan of those. Normally I don't like to exercise at all unless I'm competing against someone else. Volleyball is nice, although there's a lot of downtime where you're not moving that much. Fencing, on the other hand, now that's good cardio. It is. Plus, it's quite good for your leg muscles. Also true. But yeah, it's nice to exercise while your mind is focused on strategizing. That way, you're not just focused on how tiring it is. Fair enough. That's Monica's exercise tip of the day. Anyway, I could use a break from walking. Maybe I'll actually shop. Exercise? I thought you said extra fries. Wonder where I should look. Any ideas? Fashion boutique. Why not? Walking is the best way to exercise. Fair enough. I guess I could use some new clothes. Or maybe you're hoping to have me try a swimsuit. Hey, you said it, not me. Let's see what they have here. And all done. Oh, well, that was great. Kind of agree. Walking is the best way to exercise. It's mainly the only exercise I get. I guess that's not surprising at an aquarium clothing store. What? But now I think I have a better idea of what I want to get next time I go to a real clothing store. Well, back to walking, I think. I'm going to head back to our bungalow. I'll see you over there, maybe. I hope so. I kind of want to talk to you about everything that happened this semester. Okay? After this one, I'll go back and see what she said about the other shit. So the club has a bungalow? That's kind of sick. Did Monica have a stroke? Also, I think I said it before, but I think like this outfit on Monica is like the best like outfit any of the girls wear that I've seen in any mod so far. It's evening. Hey, Sayori! Why don't you come here a minute? Hey, you guys want to come watch TV together? Yeah, I'm in. I guess I made enough progress on this. I'll watch for a little while, but only one show, then we have to do something else. Alright. The rest of the club seems to be having a good time, but Monica seems removed and melancholy. Oh, there you are. I was wondering if you were ever going to come back. Did you go anywhere else between the mall and here? It was lingering here a while. I could hear the others. That's strange. I wonder why the game showed you that. I can never predict what it's going to do. Next time I ought to just pull the game to me when I'm ready to talk to you. But I try not to do that too much. Feels too much like an abuse of power. Fair enough. But anyway, you're here now. I've had a pretty fun afternoon. I actually wanted to shop for clothes so bad after my mall trip that I went and did some online shopping. Hopefully I didn't hurt my wallet too badly. Actually, while you're here, do you mind if we talk about some stuff? In particular, I wanted to hear your thoughts on everything that happened this past semester. Holy shit! Alright, let's start at the top. MC. Holy shit! Oh, holy shit! Holy shit. Well, no, here's the thing. This stuff I'm kind of interested about, but holy shit, MCX Sayori. If there were subcategories to subcategories, I was about to lose my mind. I'm glad the whole thing ended well for everyone. We were all feeling pretty down about them for a while. I can't imagine how MC felt. Or Sayori for that matter, given what I know now. But I'm sure they sure make a cute couple. It's pretty adorable how they've turned being best friends. It's like another sorry, I don't speak, my English isn't that well. Pretty adorable how they've turned being best friends into being a couple. What do you think? I'm happy for them. Me too. Get him, Sayori! No, wait! Ha ha ha! They're like this all the time. They can't keep their hands off of each other. But good for them, I say. They went through a lot to get here. As long as they can enjoy the total bliss phase of their relationship, they should. You weren't here for the ending of the last stream, I don't think. You left, and at the end of the last stream, they got together. And who knows, maybe they'll last long term. I think that's... You weren't here for the ending, sadly, yeah. I think that's what we're all secretly hoping for in the club. Apparently, all just like the season 1 episodes, like apparently the guy at the end said that it took like 50,000 lines of code. More than 50,000 lines of code to code it all, which is fucking crazy. We won't really be satisfied until there are wedding invites and baby pictures and stuff, assuming we ever figure out how to get out of high school and live normal lives. Alright, MC as Sayori's protector. You know when I started to realize that MC really was the best at protecting Sayori? It was the second to last week of the semester. He was describing all these detailed small behaviors of Sayori that were making him concerned for her. And he was able to analyze how she must be feeling. He knows her so well, he has a much better understanding of her depression than the rest of us. And he only learned about it during the week of the festival. But I guess he knows Sayori really well, so he's able to contextualize a lot better. Anyway, what impressed me most was right after Sayori decided to keep living, We were all freaking out and screaming at her that we loved her and so on. But MC quieted us down and just reassured her very gently. He just wanted to get her somewhere and quiet and warm, safe and restful. And that was exactly what she needed. It was impressive how quickly she recovered after that. How do you think he's been doing at helping her? Oh, here's the thing, not just one person can help a person, so she needs other help too. True, and I think MC knows that better than anyone. Especially after what happened the week at the festival, he knows he can't solve all her problems with his own loving care. She does need professional help. But she's never quite ready to receive it seems like. It's probably a tricky balancing act MC has to walk and to try and nudge her towards that without being overbearing. I hope she does get some help soon. It would give everyone around here a lot more peace of mind. What do you want to talk about? Okay, this sounds kind of cool. MC becoming a full character. Yeah, that was quite the journey for him. Sorry, I probably would traumatize you by showing you the full story of how it happened. No, that was cool to see. But I thought it was really important that you understand. Without that knowledge, your understanding of everything going on would have been incomplete. Fair enough, MC is really important to us because of all that. Over and above the fact that he's our friend, plus all that showed how important Sayori really is to him. What do you think? I was impressed by him. Sayori had to insist on bringing him back. You didn't take it well when you thought it was gone. That is true. Monica really did not take it well when she thought I was gone. I'll redo this one because I want to see what she says. Guys, you guys might get very bored of me, but this stuff I'm actually really curious about, so just bear with me, okay? But first I'm going to say you didn't take it well when you thought I was gone. Yeah, that's true. I thought you were gone forever. I guess it was pretty dense of me to forget that I wouldn't be able to feel you since I wasn't the club president at the time. But I'm so used to having that awareness that I just assume I always have it. So I kind of just broke down. I probably would have been alright eventually, although I do have to set a timer for 30 minutes, because in the next 30 minutes I'll have to go put wood in the fire. Fuck. 1 second. Set a timer for 30 minutes. So yeah, I'm sorry, but like, I'm very interested in this mod, and you guys might get bored, but I'm interested, okay? But if it does get too boring for you, just let me know, and then like I can do it on my own time. But for now, I kind of just want to see what she has to say about everything. I probably would have been alright there eventually. I'll just try to read it quick, alright? So just bear with me. Just like if you want to just play the stream in the background, like, yeah. Anyway, this is another reason why it's important that the others give me a break from being the club president now and again, I think. Hopefully it'll keep me a little more grounded. Okay, I want to see what she has to say about the rest of that. Sayori had to insist on bringing him back. That's true. I think for the rest of us, the player character just wasn't that important. Yeah, that's fair. It was someone we had met the week of the festival, except for a passing prior acquaintance in my case. And I particularly had reason to be dismissive of the player character because I was in love with you, the player, not your avatar here. So for the rest of us, the player character, the lore is insane. It is. So for the rest of us, the player character vanishing and just the player remaining didn't seem like that big of a deal. But to Sayori, it meant everything. That person was very important to her. So she was the one in the best position to remind us that the person deserved consideration, even in the middle of all the chaos we were in. I'm really glad she did. Okay, I want to see. I was impressed by him. Yeah, we all were, especially since we forgot to leave him any notes on how to use the club president's powers. Yeah, that was risky. It's a miracle he was able to get back to us at all. But he certainly was determined. I kind of envy him. He was put in a situation where he just had to think about something hard enough and code well enough, and he could be with the person he loved. You can probably understand why I'd envy that. But I'm glad he got the chance and took full advantage of it. Okay, fair enough. So, MC's personality. How do you mean? The fact that he even has one, honestly. Yeah. He was meant to just be a blank canvas for you to enter our world, of course. With as little distant personality as possible so that you could imagine yourself to be him. Fair enough. Since he became his own person, he's been developing a distinct personality, though. I'm not sure how, technically speaking, that works. I don't understand the inner workings of the character files very well, but I think he's been free to grow and develop just like a normal person would. It's nice that he gets his own say now in who he is and the decision he makes. Okay, fair enough. Reoccurring nightmares. Yeah, I only experienced one of his nightmares through the game, but that was more than enough. His nightmares seem extremely distressing. He tries to play it off as fine, but it has to affect him pretty badly. I guess Sayori's suicide hurt him really badly. No shit. And he's trying to brush it off and be cool and fine, like any teenage boy would. Hopefully he doesn't suffer too much from it long term. You probably saw more than I did. What were nightmares like? I'll come back and see what she has to say to all three of these. Usually MC is pretty open about things like that. He doesn't mind the whole club president sometimes knows private stuff feature of our world too much. But I appreciate that you regard his privacy. That's very sweet of you. And I'm happy to respect it. Well, I'm about to not. Horrible. Yeah. Ugh, guilt. It's my fault he had to go through that. Just like everything else wrong with this world, it's my fault. Oh, I want to say what she has to say about that. But responsibility is one thing, but no need for internal guilt. Exactly. MC's that one caveman that got rescued from ice and integrated into normal society. No, he's like Captain America when he goes out into the real world. Yeah, I guess you're right. It's just hard. A lot of things that are terrible in our lives are things that I'm directly responsible for. Even the things that aren't the things that I could maybe fix if I were smart enough with coding. It's hard not to feel like everyone's suffering is all my fault. Well, controversial. But I guess I should try not to focus on that. There's plenty that's good about our lives too. Okay, fair enough. MC's poetry. Yeah, he's gotten a lot better. His old poems, even as we perceive them, were heartfelt but amateurish. For a while at the beginning of the semester, he could speculate, by writing similarly to one of us. But now he's developing his own voice. He's clearly still influenced by Sayori's poetry, which is very sweet. It's still got that slight bittersweet flavor to it. But at the same time, the themes and style overall are very different. I wonder, do you have a favorite poem by him over the past few months? I think the love letter one was really good. You know, it's funny. I remember when MC showed us that poem, he thought it was tragic. A tragic, cringy mess. But he so clearly wrote it honestly and passionately from the heart. It was hard not to be affected by the romance of it. He's definitely written poems with more technical skill, but in terms of raw emotional power and beauty, this is definitely a good choice. I want to see what she has to say about his poems. Again, this is my stream. Sorry if you guys get it. I want to see what she has to say. That one was very good. It was both about Sayori and written in her trademark style, albeit with a bit more formalism. It's a very impactful poem. Because this guy had to write fucking dialogue for all of this, so at least somebody should see it. It gets across the weight of Sayori's death, and at the same time it gets across his determination to fight for her now. I think it's excellent. Okay, fair enough. The museum. Alright, I remember that one. MC really branched out and wrote something that sounded uniquely his own. Oh yeah, the one where he put everything in a vault. I can see why you like it. Like, much of his really good poetry, it's about Sayori. I like how the poem gets across his paranoia without ever calling it paranoia or anything negative. It just describes how overly cautious the author is. Overall, I'd say the poem is a good choice to be your favorite. Grass Stains. Yes! We all love that poem. It captures such a poignant part of growing up. When you're a kid, and you don't comprehend how adults can have forgotten so badly what it was like to be young. But even now, we're realizing that there are things about being young we've lost without realizing it, even at 18. Even worse, the guy had to plan each question that had to take so long. Oh, 100%. And code each question. Like, it deserves to be out there, and I'm curious, so... And lost feeling of grass stains is a wonderful metaphor for that. And also watch time. Anyway, although I guess like with many things associated with youth, you could acquaint yourself with the feeling if you wanted to. Fair enough. I'm going to up the text speed just a little bit. But yes, the club picked this as MC's best poem of the semester. Oh, really? So we agree with you. Arrest? Not Arrest. I don't remember that one. His haiku? I thought it was alright. Oh, it was his haiku. Okay. Not his best work, although all of us struggled a little with the haiku, I thought. Except Sayori, hers was great. I feel like he did have something thought-provoking in his head he wanted to describe. It just didn't quite make it onto the page. That happens to me all the time, and I tend to deal with it by reviewing and rereading obsessively. Haha. Still here? Oh, that was definitely a good one. One of his best themes is when he's writing about growing up, and the way he captures the impactance we all have to grow up is really nice. He really gets across the tedious parts of school. It's like we're just one of the other sides of a fence, looking into the real world, and being told we can almost get there, but not yet. Of course, in our case, it's even worse since we can't actually graduate ever. At least not yet. But that's a problem for another day. Okay, fair enough. By what right? To be honest with you, I thought this one was kind of silly. It's supposed to have a really dark and serious subject matter, but it ends up having some really lighthearted phrasings. I don't know, it kind of spoiled the effect for me. Maybe that's what MC was going for, though? Hard to say. Yeah, I don't remember it. I'm just seeing what the fuck you have to say about all this. Rose. I knew MC had really succeeded. This is so cool for me for some reason. Had really succeeded in developing his own voice when he wrote that. Sometimes, especially with my poems and Yuri's poems, you could tell that the writer had a very clear idea. Man, school forever. Hell yeah. And that they successfully transferred it to the page. But you lack the context or knowledge to understand what they're saying. That was... And also, he has to code the different sprites. Because Monika's not just having one static sprite. Like, goddamn. He very clearly has a feeling or thought that this poem represents well. I just don't know what it is. Soft Watch. I thought that one was fun, yeah. It's not the most serious or meaningful poem, but it's enjoyable to read. Not every poem needs to be a deep and profound piece of serious business. Some of the best poems I've ever have been in a linger or siller vein. What? I'm glad that MC got to a place where he could write some more light poetry. Okay. We're getting close. So easy. You know, it's funny because that poem is sort of how it is itself. A failure. Jesus. But I kind of like it. Poetry is a success when it gets across its main thought in a pithy memorable way, I think. And this poem definitely did that. Just because the feeling is poetry is hard to write doesn't make it any less of a success. So even though MC didn't like this poem much, I actually quite enjoyed it personally. Okay, Monika, okay. Alright, there we go. So MC's mod. The one about the wine incident? I thought it was really fun. It was enjoyable and silly. I like that I didn't try to do anything too technically fancy. In fact, I think I just used the stock club background the whole time. To be good, a mod doesn't really need a strong visual effects or fancy art or things like that. Though those things are nice. I think in the end, the writing is the most important. Fair enough. Oh my fucking god. Would you agree? I would say when it comes to a mod, I think the whole experience matters. I agree. I just think the writing is central. Everything else is a strong supporting role. And the art is an especially critical supporting part. Since it's hard to get invested in characters in this medium without seeing them in their environments. But in general, yes, the higher quality all parts of a mod are, writing included, the better it will be. Alright, so that's all... Oh, fuck, I guess gotta go through this really quick. Alright, now we can move on to Natsuki. Holy shit, there's... And let me guess, I can do all this shit here for, Hold on. No! Okay. Whew! Alright. Buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. I need a drink. Now, I'm not getting tired. I just realized how much how much reading I'm gonna have here. I'm gonna have a whole chapter worth here. But no, we're gonna fucking get through this. I'm curious to know about this shit. So, and this guy took the time to write everything fucking out. It deserves to be shown off. In my opinion. Fuck. Alright. Woo! Here we go. Natsuki and popularity. Yeah, it's been interesting to watch. I'm not sure why she's so obsessed with being popular. From what I can tell, she uses it to cope with her anxiety. I guess she feels like she's more secure, she's cozy in her own clique. Fair enough. Still, it's hard not to feel concerned. Caring about popularity just cuts so hard against what Natsuki is normally about, you know? I know a lot of the girls she hangs out with, and she cannot be more different from them. Hopefully she makes them better instead of them making her worse. I don't know, what do you think? She seems like she can hold her own. It's a little concerning she should stick to the ledge. She can hold her own. It's probably true. This is Natsuki we're talking about. And so far, it hasn't caused any problems in the club or anything. Maybe I just need to trust Natsuki and, to be sure, able to handle herself. I definitely say she's stronger and wiser than all those popular girls put together. They haven't had to go through what she has. And I don't just mean the game stuff either. She's had a harder time in life than they have, by a lot. And that makes her strong. So hopefully she'll do alright. Okay, fair enough. Her smoking. Yes, she's still doing it. Not as much as she was before, to be fair. At one point she was literally doing a pack a day! God damn, Natsuki! So it's nice to see her cut back. Good on Yuri for noticing when she started too. If not for her, for that, we might never have known. And I feel like we've been important in helping her smoke less. How do you feel about it? You shouldn't make her. I say let her make her own choices. Yeah, but what if smoking is really dangerous? I mean, at the very least, it's kind of gross. It's kind of a gross and expensive habit. True. I don't even know where she's been getting her cigs. And a one back day, god damn. But also there's a chance it could really hurt her. None of us want that. So I feel like we have to do something, you know? Okay, that's fair. Relationship with Yuri. Yes, people always want to know about them. It's kind of hard to tell how Natsuki feels. I mean, I believe when she says that she's straight. But there certainly is something about Yuri that gets under her skin. I have my own theories, but what do you think? She seems confused. That's putting it mildly, but I think that's definitely true. Most likely Natsuki thinks she's straight because she's been into boys her whole life. But she's at least a little bit attracted to Yuri, and it flusters her. Because she's clearly never had a girl crush before. It happens a lot with us. So she reacts by leaning into the flirty aspect of the relationship because she's Natsuki. So of course she does. Fair enough. But that only confuses her and more and encourages Yuri more. Well, I'll be there for her if she needs help figuring it out, of course. But I'm pretty interested to see where it goes. It's so nice to be able to say comfortably that, orientation-wise, I'm into anything and everything, so long as it's you. Aww. Being called cute. Ha! Yeah, she sure has some reaction to that, doesn't she? It's almost as bad as the whole manga is literature thing. It's downright silly given that she's obviously cute. Like, literally anyone I know would not hesitate to call her cute if they saw her. Because she is, right? I promise you're totally safe. Oh, she's awfully. Oh, what? I'm good. Yeah. Oh, yes, I agree. Obviously, she's cute. I am not cute. How many times do I have to tell you people? Get it through your thick, real-world skulls, or perish. Carry on, Malika. Haha, sorry. I set you up for that a little bit for that. Natsuki was walking through and I couldn't resist. Fuck you. I want to see what the other thing is. Cute's not the right word, is it? You chose wisely. You will live another day. As long as you remember that I'm not cute. Carry on, Malika. Okay, fair enough. Haha, sorry. I set you up a little bit for that. Natsuki was walking through. Okay, yeah, cool. But at least you made the right choice. Damn it. Shipping MC and Sayori. She's adorable. She's so adorable. Yeah, she certainly does that. This has been a happy time for her. Although I think even she has been overwhelmed by this severe PDA. But I think that's overall she's glad to see it. Monica does a little trolling. I wonder if she'll ship them as hard now that they're actually together. Or with her wish having been fulfilled, she'll ease off. What are your thoughts? I honestly want to know what the secret plan here was. Hang on. Monica pauses for a moment after scanning the room and continues. So I'm not sure what she thought would happen afterwards, but she was going to hang the syrup in the bottles from the balloons with the caps off. And MC was going to bump into Sayori right near where the balloons were floating. And then, just as they ran into each other... Alright, see you later, Violet. I might be streaming when you get back. And then, just as they ran into each other, Natsuki was going to come up from behind them, and at the same time, me and Yuri were going to... Natsuki tackles Monica to the ground. Leak! We have a leak! Ow! Loose lips sink ships, Monica. But there isn't any ship. Ah, very clever. And don't you forget it, I'm heading back to play more video games with the gang. Ryan, you know better than to try to compromise the OP. Monica, so help me if you blab about state secrets. I have no idea what she's talking about when she says that stuff. But anyway, fuck. Alright, her poetry. She's definitely explored some new things in her poetry during the semester, but she's also definitely retained her own unique voice. Natsuki's poetry has the most recognizable style of any of us, I would say. It's very punchy, as she likes to put it. It doesn't rely on fancy meter or word choice. She just uses a really poignant idea or twist to make her point. And most of the time, it's very effective. Alright, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that one was pretty good. It made me really happy at the time because of how sweet it was. I was still feeling pretty bad about everything that happened. And Natsuki being so positive really helped me feel better. But now I wonder, knowing that she has a lot of stress about the reality, I wonder how much of this war was her trying to protect that everything was okay. Project. Okay. Kicking a wall. I thought that one was pretty cute. I heard that! I said a poem was cute, not you. I'll allow it! Anyway, I like how wise the world view is that's expressed in this poem. How everything doesn't need to be about success in the strictest sense, you know? Sometimes you win just by constantly improving yourself. And Natsuki clearly appreciates that. Okay, fair enough. Fondness. Shall I say it? I thought the poem was actually kind of sexy. Oh. Okay, Monica. It's just something about the way she describes the plants in the poem sensually touching you. It's very sensory. Ha! Or maybe I'm just starved for affection in here. Man, that sounds desperate. Anyway, me finding this poem sexy clearly says more about me than the poem. So moving on. Okay, fair enough. Spider. I didn't think any of the haikus except Sayori's really knocked it out of the park. But Natsuki's was pretty good. Monica's a vegan. Although the theme makes me sad. I think I talked about the way it does when Natsuki first showed us the poem. But it does do a very good job at making this point effectively than getting out. Just like most Natsuki poems. Okay, fair enough. Sacrifices. That was a tough one for me to wrap my head around. On the surface, the metaphor itself is easy to comprehend. It's just hard to say what it's a metaphor for. But it's well written, I suppose. I guess it just didn't have a very big impact on me. Maybe I should reread it since you liked it so much. Okay. Oh my god, it's the one and only Asano Monica. She made it. Hi, Monica. Welcome to the stream. So I've had Walking Dead characters join me while doing those streams, and now I have a DDLC character join me in the stream. I never thought I'd see that, but welcome. Smoke. Oven. Oh, right, her Yuri style poem. Yeah, that one was pretty good, wasn't it? She said she had a hard time imitating Yuri's vocabulary. Hi, Monica. Although, to be honest, who wouldn't? But I thought she did fantastically overall in replicating Yuri's style. And it was about a fun Natsuki topic, too. So yeah, I can see why that one might be your favorite. Okay, fair enough. Shit! Fuck. Oh, I just got bugged. Hope you all are having a good stream today. I am. It's a lot, obviously a lot of reading, but it's going all right. I hope you're having a good day in your world, Monica. I think I vaguely remember that one. Oh, right, that was the one where the theme of having to consume and burn just to get along in life. Yeah, that one was good. It was a little out of character for Natsuki. It lacked the really severe twist and was kind of Mandarin. But it was pretty good overall. It's definitely a theme I'm sympathetic to. And it's good that she tried to stretch out of her comfort zone a little bit. Okay. Closet. Ah, yes, the one she wrote in 5 minutes after she forgot to write one that day. Kind of a surprising choice. Although for a poem written that quickly, it does a pretty good job, doesn't it? Even if it makes certain highly suspect accusations about people moving her manga, I do get it from what I do get from it. What the fuck? I do get it from a sense of security of ownership. You can tell that Natsuki really feels secure about her place in the club. So in that way, the poem was definitely a success. Okay. Iris and Pupil. Yeah, that one was indisputably excellent. The way she describes the subject painting's use of color is truly sublime, and she even manages to pull off some very clever and tricky rhymes along the way. The club really enjoyed that one when we saw it. We even voted Natsuki's best poem of the semester. Okay. So no surprise, it's your favorite too. Okay. On the bookshelf. Oh yes, that one was lovely. The cleverness of the idea is so strong. And all it really needed was average skill with the prose, and it would work. But Natsuki's a talented poet, so her prose was well above average. So I think this poem ended up being fantastic. Although, have you thought about whether maybe this poem was a metaphor for something in Natsuki's life? I certainly have. I don't even remember the poem. I was curious to see what you'd say about it. Grains of Sand. That was her rewrite of her beach poem, right? To be honest, that was not my favorite from her. I thought the original poem was just fine. To be fair, all of Natsuki's original poems were really good and it would be hard to improve on them. But I think she struggled to express something new with this one. I don't know, it just seemed a little too generic and bland to be a Natsuki poem, I guess. Or at least that's my opinion. Alright, fair enough. Now, what about her mod? Haha, I loved her mod. Honestly, it might have been my favorite one of this semester. It just does such a good job making you laugh and holding your interest. And that's remarkable given that most of it is essentially an ordinary cooking show. But it's just so filled with Natsuki's unique personality, I guess. Every moment of it ends up being really fun and enjoyable. And the funny sound effects and jokes really hit the mark too. She's been wondering if she should turn it into a series or to some new mod for the next one she tries. What do you think? Yeah, make it a series. I enjoyed it. I see. Don't mind me, just collecting feedback for her. Okay, now we can move on to Sayori. Sayori X. I'm really glad Sayori finally got her wish. She sure had to go through a lot of obstacles to get there, myself included. But she herself was almost as big an obstacle as I was. She actively sabotaged her chances and tried to push MC away. All because she thought that would make him happy. Poor thing. How do you think she'll do now that she's finally in a new relationship? MC will take good care of her. I'm sure he will. I'm just not sure that will be enough. Sayori has a very serious illness and it needs professional help. Oh my god. Why are you oh my godding? The one thing I do hope that MC cares to do is make Sayori feel a little more used to being cared for. I felt a little bit what it's like to be in her brain, and it's not nice in there. When people spend time and effort on her, she loves it, but it also severely hurts her because she feels she's not worth it. So when other people care for her, I think it was just a second character. Don't get bored on me here, Smoke. I'm powering through it, so hopefully you can as well. Yeah, no, at least they have the emails. I might skip over the emails, honestly. So when other people care for her, it makes her feel like she's hurting them. Fair enough. The same way you'd feel if you kicked a kitten or something. She feels like that when people try to help her. Okay. I'm hoping that MC will desensitize her to fat a little bit, but always caring for her. Ooh, and it won't hurt so bad. But who knows? I'm certainly not a psychiatrist. I just hope it works out all right in the end. Fair enough. Her rain clouds. Yeah, her depression certainly hasn't gone away. In putting together this collection, I've noticed how you experience her rain clouds as a separate voice. And it seems pretty hostile to Sayori, like it's something outside of her. But really, it's just her trashing on herself. That's just the way her brain works right now. It makes me feel so bad, especially since I know I made that worse for her. I really doesn't need to be worse. But this isn't about me. I wish I could just edit her depression. Monica literally said it might take a while, and I thought I would die. Yeah, I don't think I will do the emails. And I'm still not good enough at coding to do something like that without chopping out a whole bunch of stuff I don't understand. I guess I could always experiment and then undo any changes, but I'm not sure everyone else would want to do that. It just feels like such a severe problem that I need to do something about it. You know what I mean? Coding can't solve all your problems, Monica. Are you really sure about that? I mean, obviously, you probably can't solve the problem of me getting out, probably. But I do think that I could solve any in-simulation problem if I just understood things well enough. Okay, fair enough. Sayori's depression is all there in her character file somewhere. It's just really complex. If I could just figure it out, I could at least offer to make things a little better. But that kind of thing is really hard and imprecise and hard to do without messing up other stuff you don't mean to. Yeah, maybe coding can't solve all our problems. I'm still hopeful that eventually you'll be able to solve some of them, though. Okay, fair enough. Oh, fuck. Alright, Sayori! Importance to the club. Oh gosh, yeah, she's really important. Honestly, she's probably more important to the club sticking together than I am. I don't know if this is like science, but it seems like in some social groups there are certain people who are like glue people, I guess. Oh fuck, okay, 1 second. Give me like 30 seconds. I got to go and put wood in the fire. I will be right back. What I think I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to set a timer for 45 minutes. And if I can't... Well, now I'm here. Well, me and Monica. Smoke, did I catch you in something? I'm going to set a timer for 45 minutes. And if I can't get this all done in 45 minutes, then I might just skip ahead. Set a timer for 45 minutes. Okay, there we go. Timer's going. Okay. Just need to get comfy in my seat. There we go. Alright, here we go. They hold everyone else together, and Sayori is definitely our glue. The base game shows you that when she resolves fights between Natsuki and Yuri, and occasionally me too, and she brings MC to the club in the first place. I'm not sure what it is about her that's so good for keeping people together. What do you think it is? She's so friendly, it's infectious. Definitely. When she is in full Sayori mode, it's like she shines brighter than the sun, and sadness and anger just withers under her positive radiance. I wonder what it would be like to have that kind of power. I mean, obviously I wouldn't want her depression, but it would have to be nice to bring such joy to everyone around you, yeah? I definitely don't have that effect on people. I'm a little too static, I guess? But that's why it's so important that the Literature Club has its Sayori around. Okay, fair enough. Suicide close call. That was awful. That was awful. I know it probably didn't look like it, but I was really scared. Especially since Sayori was using a modified version of my own suicide program. I felt so helpless and responsible. And above all, I didn't want to lose Sayori. She's very important to me. She's one of my closest friends. One of the only ones I have, really. I was really relieved when she didn't go through with it. I kind of tried every strategy to think of to stop her, but none of them worked. I just asked her normally and sincerely not to. I tried seeming upset and emotional. Not that I wasn't upset and emotional, I just let her see it. And I even showed her MC's poem and it didn't do anything. For the split second before she changed my character file, I felt so awful when I realized I'd failed. But it worked out in the end. What do you think kept her from going through with it? MC's feeling, it was just her own raw strength. I think it was just her own raw strength. Yeah, I think you're right. I realized that as soon as MC said he was proud of her, he understands her the best of any of us. And his explanation made a lot of sense. What she had gone through and what she needed then to feel okay. Maybe Sarah really does have it in her to win her battle with depression so long as someone isn't tipping the scales against her. Buff. She really is very strong to have gone through that, don't you think? Buff. Being manipulative. She is remarkably devious, isn't she? When she needs to, she lies without a second thought and tricks people into forgetting about her problems to focus on theirs. She's disturbingly good at deceiving people that way. It's troublesome because when she does that with us, it keeps us from helping her. I mean, sometimes we're wise to her, especially MC, who knows her so well, and we can avoid being led astray by her. But we're all still at least a little subject to manipulation. And MC is a teenage boy who's hopelessly in love, so he's pretty vulnerable too, especially now. You have any thoughts she completely fooled Miss Ida? She did, yeah. She seemed pretty clueless during her suicide attempt. Careless. Yeah, that's true, she did. Yeah, you're right. She kept accidentally glitching the game, drawing attention to things being off somehow, like her leaving for school too early. Maybe that was her cry for help? Maybe. Trying to see if people cared enough to figure out what was going on. Well, if that was what she was doing, I'm glad we were able to show her we care. Okay, fair enough, Sayori. Alright, time for her poetry. If I share a secret with you, will you promise not to tell? I think Sayori is the best poet in the Literature Club. I'm just not as good at being creative, period. Even with poetry, and MC is still learning. Yuri has a lot of literary talent, but she needs to focus more on content of a form. And Natsuki has the opposite problem. She has great poetry ideas, but would really benefit from having more tools in a writing toolkit. Sayori, though, phew! When she's at her best, none of us can approach her, which is terrible sometimes because her poetry is devastating, so she uses all that talent just to rip your heart out and stomp on it. Although, to her, I guess it just seems like she's authentically replicating her viewpoint. Sayori supremacy? I guess that's part of why it's so devastating to us. Did you have a... Yep. Alright, it's going around. Yep. When I saw this poem, I knew that we'd still be getting more heartbreaking Sayori poems. It's very haunting. It overwhelms you with her guilt at making the rest of the club aware of our situation. I hope I didn't make her feel too bad about that. I was against it at first, you know. She was the one who pressed to tell everyone the truth. But then she obviously had some regret about that. Sometime soon I need to tell her that she was right and I was wrong. And that everyone's happier because we went with her choice. Okay. Cat Friend. Yes, one of many poems Sayori wrote about MC this semester. Or at least that's what she told me about it. Sometimes she confides things to me that doesn't really tell to the rest of the club, even MC. After everything that happened, we've already become really good friends. Anyway, I thought this poem was very bittersweet. When she told me what it was about, I thought, Sayuri, there's nowhere MC would rather be than with you. But it was hard to tell her stuff like that at the time. I think I kind of realized it was about MC, but I don't think I said it. Cloak, her fog poem. Yes, I agree, that one was excellent. And a welcome break from the psychological battering ram poem she usually does. Although even this one has a really sinister sting at the end that suggests something isn't right. But mostly it just seems to be about how cozy and comfortable fog is. I'll admit, I'm a sucker for a good nature poem, so I really appreciated this one. I'm glad you did too. Okay. Secret to show. I thought we all kind of struggled with the haiku format this week. Except Sayuri. This haiku was pretty elegant and meaningful. Of course, it turns out that she was talking about loving MC again in it. But that just makes it more delightful to read back now. It's an interesting one to pick as your favorite. It definitely has the advantage of brevity. And I certainly couldn't write anything so nice in such a short space. So it's hard to argue with you about it. Okay. Hey, right, you got quite a lot. Yeah, you're right. I love every poem. Justified. Oh dear. That one actually worried me pretty badly. Looking back on it now, she was probably wrestling with a lot of different feelings about MC and what to do about him. I'm not sure when she started going out with Kenzo, but it was around the time she wrote this poem. She must have been feeling pretty upset. It's a very overly dark poem, unlike Sayuri at all. Her poems are usually dark by contrast rather than just pure dark. But hey, if it's the kind of art you're into. Whoops. Alright, that was her attempt to imitate Natsuki. But I think she just ended up making another Sayuri poem. To be fair, there are a few similarities between their styles. They both prefer simple phrasing and sharp or unexpected twists in their poetry. But Natsuki's poetry is usually focused outward at the world around her. While Sayuri is very introverted and about her own mind usually. And I think that this poem sticks much more with the Sayuri tendency. But that doesn't mean it's not good. Okay. Priorities. Going to be honest with you, I didn't really get that one. I mean, I get that it's sort of about Sayuri's feelings for MC, I think. Or if not that, then something she needs to destroy in order to save it or something like that. I'd probably have to read it again. But on my first go around, yeah, I didn't get it. Maybe it's just not something that connected with me for whatever reason. Okay, fair enough. In my room. I know parts of it are kind of dark, but I thought the poem was pretty cute. It was wonderful how she showed you how much emotional energy is in her room, I guess. And how much she cares about the little light she can see through her window. Honestly, it's pretty adorable, isn't it? I just wish she didn't have so many unhappy memories associated with her room. Hopefully she'll be able to wash all that away someday. Alright, lunch. Yeah, that one was a pretty good, thoughtful one. Without being too disturbingly Sayuri-ish, I guess. So it was nice to read one that was mostly just positive and thought-provoking. Like with all the other poems we made about paintings, it works better if you can see the painting while you read it. So I definitely recommend doing that. I'm good. This is fun. I'm not sure what it is about this poem, but there's something wonderful about it. The club elected it as Sayuri's best poem of the last semester, which is huge praise. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I thought it was like best poem. They elected as best poem of everyone's. I'm not exactly sure what it's about, but its images and contrast are so striking, and it definitely stirs up emotions. Basically, I feel like this poem is really deep and would probably benefit from a bunch of rereads. So good choice. Alright. Get me out of your head. That one was scary, especially knowing that it was essentially going to be her last poem. This is when I started to worry that something might be really wrong with Sayuri that day. All that said, it is a pretty good rewrite of her Get Out of My Head poem. It's terrifying. So it's a very effective piece of poetry. I'm not gonna talk about her mod because I'm not gonna play her mod. Yuri! Being over analytical! Yeah, she does that sometimes. I can empathize, I'm pretty analytical myself. The difference is, mine tends to be internal. But Yuri has a bad habit of doing her thinking out loud sometimes, and she might be a bit more prone to analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis? Analysis paralysis. Okay, I feel like usually I'm pretty good at being decisive. I think about it, decide on something, and then do it. But sometimes Yuri just keeps thinking about it. Of course, her tendency to think carefully about things can also be a strength. It's just one that's carried to excess occasionally. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, it's not bad. I agree. It's good to consider things carefully. And to be honest, I really appreciate that Yuri is so thoughtful. Of course. I mean, yeah, everybody to be over analytical, it would be fucking Yuri. So Yuri and Natsuki can sometimes act oh my god. Yep. And MC has a tendency to think with his heart rather than his brain. So it's a big help to have someone a little more reflective in the club. Helps hold things together. Okay. Episode 4, illness. Oh yeah, I remember that. So Yuri had us all go over there and tend to her. That was a nice day. Although I'm sorry that Yuri had to be sick for it to happen. Still, it was wonderful for us to meet somewhere different. Maybe we ought to do that more often. One thing that does still puzzle me is how illness works in here. As I think I might have explained to Natsuki, our simulation clearly models contagious disease. But I don't think if MC hurt, Monica hurt. Oh my god, Minecraft hurts. Natsuki's at increased lung cancer risk because of smoking. Or if I could convincingly cure it via coding if she did. When I look at that kind of stuff with the character files, I get a headache. Hopefully I'll never have to find out. As long as our illnesses aren't too severe, I prefer not to have to dig around and code to fix disease. Oh my god. And at least it was nice. It was a nice excuse for us to have a big club party of sorts. What did you think of all that? It was neat to see a different person's house. Huh, yeah. I guess the base game's assets only look into Sayori and MC's house. Hopefully you've enjoyed getting to look at everyone else's places. Everyone's house is pretty normal, except for mine. Not that I've seen too much of Natsuki's, but my house is a little unusual. I've used it to practice coding before, so it has some things about it that are a little strange. Fair enough, but it's also a lot nicer as a result, mostly. I haven't built in a two-way portal to your world yet, but I'm working on it. Fair enough. Relationship with Natsuki, yeah, one of our most frequently asked questions. Yuri says she just isn't sure about her sexual orientation. Oh, but if you ask me, it isn't hard to guess that whatever it is, it includes Natsuki personally. You know what, Smoke? I'm going to do us both a favor here. I'm going to skip out on her poems. I love that this guy took the time to do all of it, but I don't want to see anything about her poems. Fuck that. Or at least she definitely glares off that vibe to Natsuki and the rest of us. Gives off. Fuck me, man. I think genuinely, if she thought Natsuki were into it, she'd go for it. Oh, but Natsuki insists she's straight, so Yuri just keeps it to a friendly teasing. Maybe that's her way of signaling availability while respecting the boundaries. I ship Natsuki X. If she had to choose a girl, Yuri once said she actually prefers Sayori. Nah, I ship it. Ha, well, I don't know if you'll get your wish or not. I think that depends on the two of them, especially Natsuki. Although if Yuri were more aggressive and honest, who knows? But then that might backfire badly considering that the other person is Natsuki. No problem, that's not mine. Whatever happens, I just hope they're happy. Yuri, as club president. I guess she definitely made the most of her time as club president, didn't she? She found my little escape program, for one thing. But invasions of privacy aside, I thought she did a pretty good job of handling it. Just like she's done a good job of handling all the weird reality stuff. The extent to which she's done that has been remarkable. It's good to know that there's someone I could trust to responsibly handle that power. Don't you think? She seems like she uses the power more than others. You think so? I did try to impress upon everyone that you should try not to use presidential powers too much. But Yuri has been pretty fascinated by the fact of the simulation, so I guess that's natural. But still, she didn't really do anything that I noticed, other than digging into my private stuff. As long as she avoids disrupting anything or breaking the rules, we all agreed on to keep our privacy. I don't mind much. I trust her a lot. Okay. Developing confidence. I've been so pleased to see her do well with that. She's so friendly and outgoing now. At least with the club she is. I mean, I can tell that she's still an introvert at heart. She very clearly still likes and needs isolation and can get over socialized. But she does enjoy being open and energetic with us from time to time. It's nice to see someone grow like that. Don't you think? It's nice to see her be more comfortable. Yeah, that's definitely how I feel. I used to be on pins and needles around her. She was so sensitive. But now she feels really settled in, like she belongs. And she does. She always has. She just acts like it now. And that's nice because it helps us feel that much more like the weird, close-knit second family that we are. Yeah, we'll skip over the poetry. Yuri's mod. Yeah, her mod was pretty good. As I think I said at the time, it had some difficulties to overcome. Didn't really have the time or proper formatting to accomplish really good horror. There just wasn't the time to build up the tension, and visual novels aren't a great medium for horror. Present world in which I live expected, I guess. But given those limitations, I think the mod is a nice, modest little success. It accompanies some pretty effective horror in its own way, and effectively too, with limited assets and runtime. So I'd say overall, it's pretty good horror. I'm curious, what do you think what is the most important to good horror? A sense of danger, honestly. Maybe. Although I think there's plenty of good horror that doesn't rely too much on the sense of danger. But it's a lot more easy to think of horror that does, certainly. What? But the kind of horror Yuri likes is that psychological ambient horror. And there's something different about that. Oh yeah, there is, yeah. I mean, think about our base game. You probably didn't get too much horror from any real sense of danger, except maybe in the Act 2 Yuri scenes. Yuri's death came as a sudden shock to you. Oh yeah. And hopefully you never really felt it any real danger yourself. Although, maybe you did when you realized the truth about me. But in general, the horror in our game came from somewhere else. I think whatever that is, that's the key to understanding what Yuri likes in horror. Okay, let's talk about you, Monica. Haha, what about me? You and me. You and me, huh? You know, it's strange. I really should have given up by now. I know now that there's not really any way through into your world. At least not one that I have any control over. So you think that I have a good sense to stop being interested and just get over you. But I don't want to. Or I can't. I don't know the difference anymore. Honestly, knowing that we're completely and permanently separated just makes me feel more fascinated. I don't know if that makes me sick or broken or something. I'm only laughing because you actually caught me. Because I think that pose with these clothes, it looks really good, okay? God damn it. Oh, I'm dizzy. I'm dizzy. God damn it. It does. I just can't believe I looked over and I saw that in chat, and my first thing that came into my brain was, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Oh, I'm dizzy. Oh, man. Hey, man, no judging. No, I'm not saying you're judging. It was just so funny to look over and see that. Oh man. I don't know if that makes you sick or something, or broken or something, but I still love you. I know it's completely irrational. I barely know anything about you. But that's the frustrating thing about love. It's not rational. Yeah, she could be loving a pedophile or a murderer for all that she knows. It just happens. And it's still happening to me. I have no control over it. To be honest, it's kind of scary. But I try just to roll with it. It's just hard. I don't know if you've done this, but I much prefer to have control over things, especially myself. And having this feeling inside me that I can't just focus away is distressing. But at the same time, I'm not sure I even would get rid of it if I could. It's a terribly annoying feeling, but I love you. I love it, and you. It's quite a puzzle. Love or peace? Self-control or emotional abandon? What? Surely there's a balance. That seems wise, except it feels to me like the two things are mutually exclusive. Except it feels to me... Oh, and I can't balance them, it has to be one or the other. Or I risk destroying both of these competing interests in my mind. How can I explain it? Like, to me, the thing that makes me is my mind. My thoughts, my memory, the way my brain processes information, and I can control the stuff pretty predictably if I focus on it. Or at least I have a very strong illusion of control. And emotions like that are little fires that pop up. They're chaotic and uncontrolled, but it's easy to control the fires and put them out if I need to. Except for one. You know which one. That one is a big wildfire that's always burning next to the perfectly ordered house that is my mind. Does that make any sense? Some people have an easy time just diving into that fire and being part of it, I guess. But I'm definitely not one of those people. I'm much more comfortable staying in a place in my mind where I know what's going to happen and I can control it. So love is really scary for me. Especially after I reflect on what it's already done to me. Look at what it made me do. I hope you at least appreciate how much I suffer for you. Sorry, I know I'm selfish. I hope you see what I go through. Okay, fair enough. You. Escape plan 2. Oh, right. Before you go any further, just know that I deleted that. Good. Sayuri's crudely modified copy. Good. And I scoured anywhere she or Yuri or anyone else might have hidden copies. I don't think Sayuri has the technical know-how to replicate that program, thankfully. So it should be removed as a temptation for her. It was never that for me, at least. For me, it just seemed like a perfectly reasonable option to have ready, just given the suffering I was enduring. Obviously, it was a bad idea to have it around anywhere conceivably near a potentially suicidal, depressive person in retrospect. Although it was safe from her, to be fair. I thought it was. But don't worry, all gone now. I don't really ever think I need to delete it myself anymore. It does raise an interesting question, though. Can suicide ever be morally right? Oh, fuck. I have no idea. Yeah, it's a pretty hard problem. I mean, I think there are at least some cases where people should be able to die with dignity. Like if they have a really bad, painful terminal illness or something. That's fair. But if you believe that, you have to be really careful about where you draw the line. Otherwise, people who really should try to keep living might die. Hopefully, it's nothing we'll have to worry about again in the literature club anyway. Okay, fair enough. Philosophy. I do end up talking about philosophy stuff a lot, don't I? I can't help it. The topic has always fascinated me. And realizing that your assimilated intelligence makes you even more philosophical, I guess. Only, right? That's an interesting question for sure, yeah. You think that my favorite area of philosophy would be metaphysics, pondering what's real in all that. Given that I am a simulated AI, that is indeed something interesting to me. But I'm actually most interested in ethics, questions about morality, what's right and what's wrong. I'm a utilitarian. I believe that what makes something right is how much happiness or suffering it provides, basically. It's a pretty simple position, but it has a lot of interesting implications. For instance, that's why I don't eat meat. I worry about the suffering meat production produces. Even in simulated animals, potentially. But yeah, the more belief provides a concrete framework for deciding on the wrongness or rightness of something pretty well. And it leads, I think, to the most intuitive results and the fewest internal contractions of any moral system. The tricky part is, once you believe it, it makes some pretty heavy demands on people. Like, I only need one kidney, and there are people out there who really badly need my spare. According to what I believe, I should have already donated it for someone donated it for free to someone who needs it. But getting yourself to do that, things like that, is really hard. Obviously, I haven't yet, but the most interesting thing that results is that basically I'm a hypocrite as a result. I believe that I should do something like the kidney thing, but I don't. That's fair. And the question is, how okay should I be with that? Obviously, the best thing would be me acting in accord with my beliefs, but assuming I can't or won't for some reason. Do you think it's better to change a belief that you can't live up to, or live with your hypocrisy? Yeah, change your beliefs. You think so? That just seems too easy for me. I worry that I'd just be changing my beliefs until they fit what I was already comfortable with. And that just feels like justifying the status quo rather than engaging seriously with the problem. When you think about wrong or right, shouldn't it be determined by something beyond just the way you want to act or are comfortable with acting? Sometimes I think acting morally probably should be difficult to people actually do. Brr. Otherwise, why have morality? It's there to make us think and consider our actions, and maybe change our behavior to fit our beliefs rather than vice versa. Even if that's slowly over time rather than all at once. Okay. Controlling the world. Sure is an interesting part of my experience, but it's also kind of confusing sometimes. It's like I've been told, hey, you could be an omnipotent if you work really hard at it, but also it'll be super difficult to figure out. Like, do I even want that? Should I trust myself with that? Or should I be content with a normal life without all that power? It's a question I struggle with all the time. Like, what if one of my friends was in a lot of trouble and I could save them with just a snap of my fingers? I should do that, right? But then I think I could. Couldn't I also just make us all rich and living in a mansion or whatever? Should I do that? What sort of things shouldn't I do? It's a hard question. What do you think? Oh. Cautious. Yeah, but that's a real trick, isn't it? There's a lot packed into your use of cautiously there. Hopefully it's something I can figure out, but for what it's worth, I agree. That's basically what I've been doing, using my powers here and there where it's especially convenient or necessary, but always being aware that I need to try and limit it and not get carried away. If for no other reason than not using them helps me forget I'm in a simulation. Okay. Leading the club. Running the literature club is practically a full-time job. It takes a lot of work that you and the others don't always see. That's really a lot of pressure sometimes. Dealing with the student council is a pain. For the most part, I try not to let the club see all that stuff. It would just stress them out. But that's certainly not the only part of it that's tricky, of course. As you well know. Oh my fucking god. It is. It's a lot easier than it used to be, though, because everyone's pretty close friends now. You can probably imagine how icy things were when no one knew each other. Yuri liked to stay distant as if he took offense to everything, and I was a bit too detached to fix it. Fortunately, we had Sayuri. She was the one who really started to get everyone comfortable with each other. After that, I started to get everyone working together on stuff, and we've been growing closer ever since. So really, I'd say at least 2/3 of the credit belongs to Sayuri. But in terms of day-to-day management, I certainly do a lot to keep everyone responsibly peaceful. Okay, let's get your poetry out of the way. To be honest, I don't think much of my poetry. I feel like I've replaced anything really interesting or meaningful with a bunch of tricks in the session with structure. The others say they like it, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just not really a creative person and I'm never happy with my own work. Well, I guess there were a few I were okay with from this past semester. Which one did you like best? Ice. Well, the club liked that one too, anyway. They voted this was their favorite, really. Not really my favorite, though. Maybe it's just because I remember the nightmare that I based it on so vividly. But to be honest, I just get kind of spooked thinking about this one. Like, I had no agency in the matter. It kind of just wrote itself, you know? Okay. Purgatory is a way to heaven. I enjoyed writing that one. Probably for the same reasons that people enjoy writing fanfic. It was nice to imagine my wishes all coming true. Yeah, that is true, Smoke. But then I felt like the poem wouldn't be honest unless I acknowledged the fantasy, which is why I put the bit at the end about it all just being imaginary. I like that part. I think it's important and adds a bit of feeling to the poem. Hopefully you agree. A reminder. I like the idea of that one, but I'm not really happy with the execution. I feel like maybe I should have given it more structure. Instead, I just kind of started writing and let the results stand, more or less. Normally I do a lot of editing passes on my poetry, but not this one for whatever reason. I'm not sure I'm happy with the result. Okay, fair enough. Your poetry. Skip one of your haiku. The one that I saw was home. That haiku isn't very good, but hopefully my love of the subject matter shines through. I really love space, and the stars in particular. I remember having a nightmare about being chased by a big scary moth, and then I became a Lego character in Lego City. If that's actually a dream you had, that's fucking sick. They're so beautiful. Hopefully I don't come off as too ditzy for saying something like that. I love stars too, I love space. But I really am impressed by the stars. They're both just directly, visibly beautiful and a great metaphor. Okay, boom, your poetry, boom, boom, school spirit. I don't know, that one just ended up sounding really confused to me. I feel like I knew better what I was trying to write about when I started than I did when I finished, fair enough, which is usually a bad sign. Thinking about it again, maybe it wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was at the time. But I'm still not a huge fan of it though. But thank you for liking it. It means a lot when people lift up the work I think is bad. Helps me feel better about my process. Okay, poetry. Whoopsie daisy. High school nursery rhyme. I guess it makes sense that one of my better poems would be the one I tried to write like someone else. I do feel like I did a pretty good job copying MC in that one. Making this poem, weird thing is that I wasn't the only time I was chased by a big ass moth. I couldn't fly. Oh, it was a walking fly? I mean, a walking moth? That I feel like that would be, like, scary. Scarier than it flying at you. Making this poem was what really led me to reflect on the evolution of MC's poetry. He's really come pretty far in a very short time, wouldn't you say? Now, if I could just start improving my own poetry like he does his, it'd be nice to be able to imitate that. Alright, fair enough. Poetry. Alright, now here, the sky is falling in. I'm fond of that one. I know it's not about the most original subject for me, but I like the contrast they present in this poem. And the imagery all makes a lot of sense, or at least it does to me. But then of course I wrote it so it better. If it's your favorite though, it must mean I got something meaningful across to you. So I'll count it as a success. Home is where the heart is. That's one that seems a little too sweet for me in retrospect. At the time I was feeling really happy and positive about the club. Fair enough. Not that I'm not now, of course. But at the time I was just swelling with affection and love for everyone. And this poem was the result. I think I may have overdone it slightly, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised that you liked it so much. You big sweetie. Alright. The bearable lightness. Alright, the one I made about the paintings. I do love those paintings. The visible paradox they present is very interesting to me. I tried to represent the same thing as a poem. I'm not sure how well I did though. Hopefully it comes across at least a little. I guess you think so if it's your favorite. Yeah. Utility. I would characterize that poem as accurate, but not necessarily very poetic. I don't know, it just feels like I hit the reader over the head with the premise a bit much. Even if I do have an important message to convey. I just don't really like it much when art is really heavily handed, you know? The point of it is to communicate deeper, interesting things intuitively, rather than in a plain, straightforward manner. Otherwise, we wouldn't have art. We just say everything directly. Okay, fair enough. And now back up. That one's okay, I guess. Although I think it's hard to appreciate it if you're anyone other than me. It's mostly a poem about how nice it is to have normal sleep and dreams, and to be able to keep living my life normally without the screaming data hell stuff. That's fair. That stuff makes me happier and more inspired than you might realize. So I'm really glad that you must understand to some extent since you picked that one. Alright, there we go. Your mod. Haha, yes, my mod. It was pretty silly, but it was a lot of fun to write. Although it's sort of weird to ship yourself with people, including shipping yourself with yourself. Definitely not avoiding a reputation for egoism with that one, Monica. But yeah, I think it was pretty successful in its modest little way. And it was interesting to think about what all the ships would be like if she asked what her favorite ship was, and think about how good each one was. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, the person who made this and coded this went all out. Oh my fucking god. That's fucking crazy. The one with you and... Oh no. You're a degenerate, aren't you? Just kidding. But seriously, this pairing is extremely cursed. I don't think it would work at all in real life. I guess that's part of what made it fun to try to write anyway. Silly as it was, I'm glad you really enjoyed it, for whatever reason you did. Oh no. My OCD. If I have time at the end, I'll go back to it. But that was my favorite ship, was the Natsuki and Monica one, because it just seems so fucking stupid. But let's move on to Kenzo, used by Sayori. Yeah, that definitely was a thing that happened. Sayori really does owe him an apology, although I don't think she should talk to him about it. Given how little he knows about how things really are, I'm not sure it would really help. But yeah, that was awful. I'm not sure how he really felt about Sayori. I know very little about who asked whom, or if there was any real attraction on either side to begin with. But it was very unfair to him, no matter how you slice it. What do you think about it? It was unfair to MC too. Yeah, that was the most terrible part. All that was supposed to be fair for MC's benefit, to push him away and make him stay away from caring for her and loving her, which she thought would be bad for him, but really it just made him suffer more. Poor MC. Poor Sayori, too. To her mind, it must seem like everyone suffers no matter what she does, but really everything would be fine if she just let other people love her. But I guess she has a lot of trouble with that. Okay. Ah yes, poor guy, what did you want to talk about? Couldn't handle rain clouds. Yeah, he didn't do a great job there. But then no one really has so far. Of all of us, Natsuki was probably the best at dealing with it at first. MC is much better at it now, but his initial reaction was pretty awful. Blaming her for not telling him, messing up the love stuff, telling her he knew what was best for her. It's actually kind of cute how he educated himself on how to help people with depression after that. He made it a huge point to read up on how to talk to people in crisis. Damn. And now he's an expert. There's actually a DDLC mod that would teach you the same kind of thing. It's called Sayori Says No to Suicide, and I highly recommend it. Oh. But yeah, MC didn't know any of that at first, and his initial reaction definitely didn't help. Not that I should talk, of course. My reaction was to weaponize it against her in my quest for your attention. Damn. You know, the more I think about it, the more Kenzo's response seems pretty reasonable by comparison. He told her the truth, which was that he was having a tough time understanding and processing and didn't know how to react. He did leave her to cope by herself, which is not ideal, but he was upfront about it. He didn't offer her magical solutions or do anything to stress her out more. And he asked for a couple more times. He asked for more time a couple times. And then he got broken up with. Not ideal, but he certainly could have done a lot worse. So on the whole, I don't blame him. Could have done that better, but understandable. Basically, yeah. I haven't seen her talk to him since then, but I wonder if he's educated himself on the topic since then. Hopefully he has. That's one big strength of MC's, by the way. He makes a lot of mistakes, like everyone, but he always takes care to not repeat them. And when it comes to Sayuri, he goes completely overboard with that. I think he reads like 20 books on he's read like 20 books on depression at this point. Jesus. I don't know if Kenzo needs to quite do that, but hopefully he does take something away from it. Okay. Personality. As in what he's like? I don't really know. I only met him a couple times. Although I've heard of him before. He's on the school's basketball team, so he's reasonably well known. Can't say I really know him much other than what I've heard, though. Did you learn anything interesting about him? He seems nice but flawed. So just like most everyone else, huh? Personality, car. I mean, that does basically describe all of us. That's true, yeah. But I think I understand what you mean. He did seem like a nice, polite boy. Maybe not exactly a good fit for the literature club, certainly. But then neither was MC, I guess, at first. Seems like Kento's got plenty of things to do besides a dumb old culture club, though. Kento x Sayuri. It sure was a strange match, wasn't it? They seemed like very different people. I'd love to know the history of how it happened. Same. Like Sayuri must have approached him, right? Except I just cannot picture her doing that. I wonder what the relationship was like. Do you know? He called her Chica. Yeah, I know this. I thought it was kind of cute, although the nickname seemed to fit Kento's style more than Sayuri's. But she didn't seem to mind. I really prefer MC's cinnamon bun nickname. I think he got it from all of you. And I have to say, it really fits her. So good job there, Internet. Alright, Miss Ida. I guess we did have to talk about her a little in the past, and what about her? Good teacher? I guess. She definitely has that reputation. I've never had a class with her, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, I knew Chico was going to be mentioned. The rest of the club all have chemistry with her, though. We operate on sort of a hybrid Japanese-American model for how classes are organized here. Just like with everything else in this hacked-together universe. But anyway, yeah, the others in the club are very fond of her. Especially Natsuki for whatever reason. It's strange since Natsuki usually doesn't get along with teachers. I guess she either really likes them or really doesn't like them. What is it about her that makes her good, do you think? She deeply cares about her students as people. Yeah, that seems to be what all the club members think. And seeing Natsuki and Yuri all gush about her. Sayuri hasn't really said much about Miss Ida, but I'm sure she feels the same. Like I said, I never had her, so I wouldn't know. But teachers like that are really important. The ones who really care about their students and how they develop. The ones who aren't just doing a job and collecting a paycheck. Although apparently her caring so much about us might be a little bit of a problem for us. That's from Miss Ida. Suspicious of the club. Well, a little. I'm not sure she's figured out that it's tied to the club itself yet. All she knows is that MC and Natsuki had some kind of extraordinary experience that other people wouldn't believe. Which they don't think they should talk to her about. Ah, fuck, voice is cracking. She also asked Sayuri and Yuri about things genuinely, but Sayuri's a convincing liar, and Yuri danced around it pretty well, she says. So hopefully that's the end of it. Why, are you concerned? Is she really like a character? Not like we are, no. She doesn't have a character file. She's just part of her simulation system, but I'm not sure what differences that implies either. As far as I can tell, they're normal people with feelings and awareness, same as us. The fact that MC got turned into a real person implies that maybe anyone could. Though I guess he was a special case since he was also you, sort of. I don't know. Honestly, the less we need to figure out stuff like that, the better, I'd say. Okay, fair enough. Miss Ida. Appearance. What does she look like? I think I answered this in one of the emails. I haven't really seen her around too much, but I know she has long black hair and brown eyes. MC passes through the room to get a drink. Are you talking about Mrs. that person? No, Miss Ida. Oh, you've got her confused then. Miss that has the long black hair. Miss Ida is the one with the blonde. Is the blonde one with gray eyes. Oh, of course. It's been 45 minutes? Oh. That was the quickest 45 minutes. Whatever. We'll just finish the visiting and then we'll call it a stream. I can start season 2 tomorrow. That's Miss Ida? Yep. MC closes the fridge and returns to the bungalow living room. Huh. Well, I definitely know who he's talking about now. There's only one blonde teacher at our school as far as I know. But I guess I had her confused with someone else. Okay, we're almost done. Well, Yuri told her. Well, I obviously wasn't there, of course. But Yuri said she handled it without giving any information. She stuck to the plan and said nothing was wrong with the literature club so far as she knew. She said that she had noticed MC and that she had definitely had some weird experience, but that she thought it was better in context not to ask them about it, and that they seemed to be getting along just fine and weren't in any trouble or danger. So I'd say it worked out the plan. You think she'll keep bothering us after that? Oh yeah. Maybe. The game does tend to focus on things I think are important, and it seems to follow certain storylines more than others. So maybe stuff with Miss Ida will keep happening. I don't know. Honestly, I'm shocked they didn't get into the whole gum thing that happened with Sayori. What? It occurs to me that you probably perceive our lives as kind of story-like given the way in which you perceive them. But it doesn't seem that way to us. There's a lot you never see. And we don't get to skip time like you do. So to us, it's just our normal lives. Try to remember that, won't you? Okay, the whole club. Okay, you know what? We talked about pretty much all this. We'll say nothing else. Hey, Monica, come over. We're playing a game before we go to bed, and we need a fifth. Alright, I'm coming. Give me a second. I had better go join them. Thanks for spending time talking to me. I really enjoyed it. I hope you have fun visiting us. And always remember, I'll always love you for who you are, no matter what, no matter when. Alright, we only have one more person to visit. And it's Satsuki. And then we'll call it a stream. Because we've been going for... Wait, what? Oh, well, this one's only been going for an hour and something. The rest have been going for... And the other one was 24 minutes, so... Yeah. Anyway. Sheesh. Here's the thing. I'm not even, like, annoyed. I'm just so impressed that the person who made this mod went through all this effort. And it feels bad to, like, not go through every single little thing. But, like, even though I would love to do that, I don't want, you know, people to get too bored. But maybe if things like that happen in, like, Season 2 and Season 3, then maybe I will go through everything. Because I'm curious about all this shit. I was curious to see what she would say about all the favorite ship parents. But, like, I don't want to bore people who are in the stream right now or choose to go back to watch the VOD. But anyway, well, that's just how I feel about it, I guess. Oh yeah, he has all mine too. He has mine. Yeah, I love it. All right. Fuck. All right. Let's see what Natsuki's up to, and then we'll call it. Damn. Well, I'm gonna go check out the water slide. Want to come with? Nah, I'm gonna go rest under a shady chair for a while, I think. I can use the time just sitting and relaxing, you know? Yeah, I understand. Well, unless I'm on the slide, I'll have my phone, so hit me up if you change your mind. I will. And off she goes. It's good to see Monica enjoy herself. Girl always seems so stressed out. And now it's time to do absolutely nothing for a while. God, I love having nothing to do. No deadlines, no upcoming tests, nothing. Now here I can enjoy it without anyone bothering me or knocking on my door every 20 minutes. Ah, after a while, that's when he falls half asleep. Uh, oh, gotta be careful. If I fall asleep, I'll eventually be under the sun, which I didn't burn so easily, but that's what I get for being pale as shit, I guess. Could always apply some lotion, I guess. Ah, there we go. Well, back to doing nothing. About 15 minutes pass. I'm bored now. I wonder what Yuri's doing. What you doing? I'm learning about what? Wow, I cannot even contain my excitement. Aw, it's very interesting though. Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. Believe you 100%. What to do, what to do. As much as I love hanging out with Yuri, I definitely don't want to learn about that. And I'd just be a third wheel to Sayori and MC right now. Guess I'll see what Monika's up to. You finished with the slide yet? Yeah, it's super fun. Change into your bathing suit. I'll come up with you to run it again. Okay. Yay. Let's see Monica go down the pirate-themed water slide a few times. That was fun. That was a pretty sick water slide. Ooh, I'm starting to burn a little bit though. Getting wet's not good for the sunscreen. Yeah, same here. Want to go back to the room for a bit and get changed and hang out in the shade? Yes. I don't know. Ah, that's so much better. Yeah, it definitely is. I need a new swimsuit. I looked horrid in that one. Really? I thought you looked like cute. Great. Well, thanks, I guess. I think sometimes I overdo the pink thing. You definitely have a style that you stick to. On brand. Exactly. There are a lot of kids playing in the water playground today. Yeah, sorry about that. I would have gotten us one of those water bungalows away from the playground, but they were all super expensive. And for reasons I now understand, the ones near where all the loud kids are were much cheaper. I don't mind at all. Mind. A place like this it's nice to see the little tykes running around having fun. You ever think of having kids? Like if you became real and you and the player was like, okay, well, time to get some babies going. What would you do? If they wanted to, I definitely would. But other than that, not really. No real interest. It's too much trouble. I want to live my life for me and the things I think are worthy without having responsibility for someone else. Ever did the pink thing with pink hair? No way. Nah. Pink eyes, pink everything. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. What brought that on? Oh, nothing really. Looking at these kids was just making me think. We've always been kids, you know? And people who were way smaller and younger than us were just little kids, and we were big kids. But now we're 18, which is the age where you're not officially a kid anymore. I think it's just strange. Seems kind of surreal to not be a kid anymore. I never really felt like a kid. I've always felt like I'm supposed to be old and mature. Even before I realized what I really am. Yeah, you probably kind of were born an old soul. Simulated reality or no simulated reality. Nasuki and Monica watch the kids play as the day grows old. That's beautiful. You think it's more important that something be good or that it be real? Ooh, like you mean like our reality, or I mean, I guess, but I meant more just in general. Like, is it better for something if something is sucky and real, or if it's good but fake? Oh, is that all? It's actually a problem a lot of people have thought about for a long time. I don't even know an answer for that. And one I've given a lot of thought to myself, as you might expect. It's funny. Have you heard of the idea of the experience machine? Suki shakes her head. Well, basically, this one philosopher posed this hypothetical about this machine. And he said if you step into this machine, it will perfectly simulate a blissful and happy existence for you forever. And you'll forget that you're in a simulation completely and think it's real. Would you step into it, or would you keep living your real life? And everyone chooses to stay in real life? Well, not everyone. It all depends on what your philosophy is. I used to think that the answer to this question was easy and that reality was more important. You mean like an EXP farm? But if we have a weird perspective on it now, all of us, the hypothetical presupposes that the thing you've known your whole life is reality, and the thing you'd be leaving for is the simulation. What if you're already in the experience machine? What if the people and things you've known your whole life are what's fake? And you make the experience machine that status quo, it makes it a lot harder to step away from it. Plus, I kind of learned the hard way that just because something isn't real doesn't mean it's not important. So now I think I'd have to say that it's more important for something to be good than for it to be real. I think I still have a hard time answering that question, even so. Still have an existential angst? Yeah, like it's really shaking me up to think about all of this not being real. Even all these kids, poor things. Not only are they not real, they're not even key parts of the simulation they're in, like we are. Fuck, it seems seems unfair, I guess. I just wish everyone could be on equal footing when it came to their existence being real. I don't know. They certainly don't seem to mind when the children splashes his mom and runs away giggling. Yeah, but that's because they don't know, which means that it's all in how you perceive it. I used to perceive it as a horrible cage, and that made me lash out. And now I try to perceive it as just as good as anything else, other than the player not being here. It's just different. Different kind of good. And that's helped me live a more happy life, I think. Yeah. Well, I guess it's a moot point since we don't have the choice between real and good anyway. So we might as well make the good as it can get. That's the spirit. Monica and Natsuki walk back towards the club's bungalow. So what are we doing tonight? Terry wants us all to get together and play a board game. Ooh, that sounds fun. Yeah. And there we go. Pretty much all of season 1 of Club DDLC club meetings. All done. Which is season 1. Fuck. As it stands, this is one of my favorite mods so far. To be completely honest, they play Monopoly, the club will break up. Even though I really want to do the first episode of season 2 tonight, I think it's best that I don't. And yeah, season 1, wow. I don't even think I have a favorite episode, to be completely honest with you, like going through it. Like, I'm being completely honest, but like, I love this poem scenes. Actually, you know what? Quickly, I'll go through these poems because I feel like I kind of am curious to see what all these poems are about. So, Clover is my best poem of the semester, which is kind of disturbing, but then I guess the poems are mostly disturbing. This poem is based on a nightmare I had. I was being encapsulated by ice slowly, and I could see my tissue turning cold and frozen. When I woke up, I thought it was a good metaphor for what happened to me before. I'm not normally, Actually, you know what? No, the way I was in the base game. But having this horrible thing happen to me made me that way for a while. So I guess the ice metaphor for me turning into some kind of person. Okay. Like I love the idea of going through these, but maybe that's something I'll do after I finish all the episodes, all the seasons. You know what I mean? But yeah, tomorrow, hopefully after work, if I'm not driving my friend Michael somewhere, we will get a start on season 2 of Doki Doki Literature Club meetings. I hope you guys enjoyed season 1 as much as I have. Feel free to let me know your thoughts. Yeah, I'm really excited. This is such a great fucking idea for a mod. And as I said, we're skipping over the emails. Maybe I'll read them over myself, but yeah. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. I love you all. Oh, fuck, I accidentally opened up something else. Meant to click OBS. Have a good night, everybody. Love you all. Peace!